What's up? Hi guys. I filmed a video about how I had passed my PGDE, my teacher training, and I started my probation year. When you finish your teacher training, you get given a school that you work in for a year, and that allows you to become a fully qualified teacher. And I became a probation teacher full-time in Scotland. I handed my notice in. I started in the school in late August. In Scotland, kids go back to school a bit earlier than they do in England. I had a P2 class. It wasn't the kids, and I really enjoyed teaching them. However, sat down with Luke and I just had like a breakdown. Ever since starting, my anxiety just crawled up every single week. I remember thinking about week 6 into the job, it'll get better. First 6 weeks, the first half term is the hardest time of the year, especially as a probation teacher. It is the hardest time, but you've got no idea. You're not prepared at all. You go in, you don't even know what you're going to teach on the first week. Right, I just need to get through this week. So you get to the end of the first week of teaching. Great. Now it's the second week. When you do your probation year, when you do an ECT year in England, you are given a mentor. Will pass you, fail you, get you more support. The first 6 weeks, I knew roughly what I needed to do because I had asked her, what should I do in this first term? If you guys haven't released the plans yet, I like to plan in advance. It put me on a foot where I felt like I was falling behind before I ever got a chance to settle in. When I'm teaching as well, is in a small town, everyone knows each other and everyone's settled in. I found it really hard to find my place. My anxiety levels from like week 1 just got exponentially worse, especially without all these long-term plans. I had an observation and it was like, okay, I like to know where I can get saved. It is skip. Anyway, that was Luke just coming in. I was saying that by like week 5, you need to have an observation. Still felt really unprepared and anxious and stressed, and my anxiety just got exponentially worse each week. I then had my observation. It was okay. It illuminated for me we really need to get these plans out and I needed help with the planning. But I was just struggling to understand what their expectations were as a school in terms of the structure of my lessons and structure of my literacy. You have to do a grammar, you have to do spelling, you have to do phonics, you have to do a writing. And how do you differentiate for all children? Some kids don't know the letter N, and some kids know how to write the word mnemonic. How do you deliver a whole class especially in P2 when the range is so broad? Like every week you're winging it, which turns out is what teachers do. Really hard, especially when you don't have a teaching assistant. I was really stressed. I'd also never set homework. When I was in Aberdeen, both the schools I went into, we didn't set homework. It wasn't a policy that they had. That was an extra workload I didn't anticipate and really stressed me out. You have to differentiate it. You have to tailor it to each small group. The workload was ridiculous. You do not get told how hard teaching is. You have no idea how hard it is until you are a full-time teacher and you are responsible for all these kids. You've got to do all the tracking, you've got to do all the parents' evenings, you've got to do all the reports, you've got to plan everything for each individual child, and then you've got pastoral stuff as well. It's just never ending. I never understood how when teachers would strike, I'd be like, I didn't really get it. I really get it now. By the half-term holidays, I was burnt out. I was so anxious and I was having stomach problems every single day. When your body is giving you a physiological response to stress and anxiety, the issue is really bad. You should not be living with a stomach issue and anxiety every single day. By the time the half-term holidays rolled around, I just had a breakdown. I'm really, really unhappy. So I handed my notice in. I then had to work those 4 weeks. That was really tough. No one wanted to support me anymore because I'd handed my notice in. At the time, well, my partner is a DevOps engineer. Everyone I know is in tech. So I was like, I'll get into tech. You working from home, I want to work from home. What jobs work from home nowadays? Either customer service or tech. I'm gonna get into tech. I started coding, I signed up for Girls First Code. I actually got a job interview. I think they really wanted me, but that wasn't fulfilling the thing inside as well. I don't know what I want to do. I like teaching. I love the kids and I like being in the school environment, but teaching full time is a whole nother kettle of fish, especially at the moment. Teachers are on strike. Feels like there's resentment. You go into the staff room and there's an air of, I'm overworked. I don't want to live my life like that. You've got one life, you've got 2 lives. I'm 25. Do I want to spend my life constantly anxious? You get called up, where's this bit of work, need to do this now, or can you do this assembly tomorrow? I know that a big quality in being a teacher and being a good teacher is being adaptable. I am someone that is adaptable. I'm a supply teacher, for goodness sake. I go into a school with either no plan or a plan, and then I turn up and then I realise that you've got to go into a class and you've got to get to know 30 kids that you don't know. You've got to figure out what they've been learning, and you've got to figure out where each child is at, just for one day. You're in for one day, but the expectations on being adaptable, but also the extent that you're willing to work, is way beyond what is healthy. There are a lot of people that do have a really healthy work-life balance. That comes with time and experience. Depends on the school that you're in, the area that you're in, and the council that you're in. Hello.